Welcome to the Traveling Professors. I'm Professor Bob.
And I'm Professor Sheri.
And together we are
the Traveling Professors.
Welcome to show number 112N of the Traveling Professors. This is the last in our series on hotels in our vacations in 2023 and 2024, at least until fall when we go to Spain. So we are staying at the Mansión Merida, which is a boutique hotel. It's actually a building that was constructed in the late 1800s. It was owned by the grandfather of the man who owns it now and who operates it, and it is just incredible, as you will see. The idea to go to the Yucatan came up after our trip to England and Ireland because my daughters thought it would be nice if we went on a vacation with them, and they thought probably the easiest thing to do would be simple is to go to Cancun. And so I had my daughter kind of look it all up, and they came up with some interesting ideas. The problem was practically every place that we would have stayed was all-inclusive, which is fine, but it was a resort. We weren't going to get to see any of the Mayan material. So it was a little troublesome, and ultimately we decided not to do that. But I thought surely there's somewhere I can fly into where we can use it as a base to see the Mayan ruins. And so I looked at Merida. Merida had all kinds of positive things going for it. One of the safest cities in the Americas. It is a hub for tourism. And it was very easy to get tours to Chichen Itza and to Uxmal and all sorts of different places up in here. So Sheri and I decided, well, let's take 10 days and go down during February when it's usually terrible here in Kansas City. Although when we left, we had nice weather. And we had nice weather while we were gone. But January was hell, -11, a couple of days, and you walk a dog at 2 o'clock in the morning because he doesn't feel very good and it's -11. You want to go someplace where it's warm. So we decided on Merida. Well, we go to the airport. Now here we are in the Kansas City airport. We're going to fly out to Miami. American Airlines flights to get us to Merida were rather small. You could go to Dallas where you would sit for 9 hours and then take a flight that brought you in at 10 o'clock in the evening. The thought of flying into a foreign country I've never been to before and don't speak the language at night is not my idea of fun. The other one was get up and fly out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now that would get us into Merida in the afternoon. So Sheri and I had stayed in the Marriott Hotel by the airport, got up at 3:30, went over to the airport, got checked in, and you can see there's Sheri. She's smiling, but she's asleep. She hates to get up early. I hate to get up early. And of course I want to make sure I'm there plenty of time. So we get on our plane, nice flight. Here we are coming into Miami. It was kind of cloudy, but you still get a beautiful view of flying into Miami Airport. So we're in Miami Airport for about an hour and a half. So here we are at the desk. And then we got on our plane and flew to Merida. And Merida has a small airport, but it is just gorgeous. So here is the interior of the area. And what you do once you go through customs, you go out. And of course, the issue is how do you get from the airport to downtown? Really, the only real way to go is actually by taxi. What they do here is as you get ready to leave the airport, they have all the taxi companies inside. And so you can just go up and tell them where you want to go. They'll tell you what the price is. You can arrange it then they will escort you out to their vehicles and off you go. Now that sounds like a really good deal. I think the airport taxi to our hotel, well, nearly to our hotel, was about $20, which is fine. But they had trouble with the driver figuring out where this place was located. And then they finally get their act together and figure out where it was. And here's a map of Merida. And here's the center of town. This is the main Zocalo, okay? And our hotel is right here. Well, where the taxi let us off was up here by a building that he thought it said Mansión, but it said Mission. He assured us that was our hotel. But we found out after he left it was not. But fortunately, it's just 2.5 blocks down the street. But I used Google. They showed me where we were. So we walked down the street. It is a little warmer. It's in the 80s here. And we had a couple of 90-degree days when we were there. So here we are. We come down to the hotel. This is what we were coming from the left-hand side of the screen down this direction. We come across in front to the Plaza de Hidalgo. And this is the main entrance. So we go here. And, of course, the guys working at the restaurant, which is part of the hotel, they help us in. And here is the beautiful staircase that we came in to see. Now you would go up, and the place where you check in is just to the right-hand side at the top. But let's take a look at the beautiful center area of this hacienda. And it is a former hacienda that has been designed into a hotel. It only has 14 suites. We had a junior suite, at least we were supposed to. So we walk straight through there, and here is a view of the central region, a little video. And here's where we ate breakfast. Tables would have been set based upon the number of people staying in the hotel for breakfast. And if it's raining, then they move the tables under the veranda area. Well, after checking in, we then walked around the veranda at the top so you can see the different areas. There's plenty of books to read. They've got chess tables. They have all kinds of stuff. You can just sit out there and enjoy the atmosphere. This one is right by our room, so this is going down another one of the halls. Again, you see the wonderful space. Here we have a view over the top of the garden, and of course you can look out the top and see the church across the street. And then here's the other turn, and it's right up in here on the right hand side where the reception room is. So we then checked in. They provided us with 2 drinks, and then we went to our room. Now we were supposed to have a junior suite. You have 3 choices here: junior suite, suite, and monster suite, I assume. So here's Sheri at the door, waiting to let us in. Obviously we've been taken in to see it. So here is the kind of the entrance area. So you come in the door on the left hand side, and you have this sitting area, and then you see this door on the other side, and that takes you out to the area where the pool is. So here's a close-up of the sitting area. You can also have your breakfast here if you want to. Breakfast was included, and you also got 20% off of dinner if you chose to eat at their restaurant. And then here's a little spot on the corner. This is where I did all the electronic stuff and kept all of our materials for each day's journey. Then going out through the door, and by the way, these doors have all kinds of little openings, so you can add more light to the room if you wish. This is the pool area, and then here is a little video of the pool. Here's the view of the pool area from our patio. So we go out our patio door, and then this is a nice view of the pool. There's no deep end, so it's about 4 or 5 feet deep. And off to the right, you see the stairs, and so they have stairs that you can access to go down to the pool area. They have towels, they have all sorts of stuff, and then you see all of the different paintings and objects sticking out from the walls. So here we are coming up right to where our room is. So our room is located right there. Now after coming back in from the pool area, we go into the bedroom area. So here is the wardrobe for part of the clothes, and then here is the bed area. And doesn't look big in this picture, but it is that we have a king size bed here at home, and it was bigger, so I'd say it's a super king. You have a wall of again, more chest of drawers, huge bathroom, and then here's this gigantic shower tub that you have in the area. And there's the inside of the tub. Now, the price of this was $217 a night for 10 days, and they upgraded us to the suite. So this was a full suite, so I don't know what in the world it would have looked like in a smaller room, but this was gigantic. Now, after we checked in and relaxed a little bit, we went out to go wandering around the city a little bit. So I was trying to get us to where the cathedral was. That's because the next day is Ash Wednesday. So we want to go to church and get our ashes. And instead of paying attention to the map that you see here, I just winged it on my own. So instead of going out and then going down to the church, I went across the street and we went up this way and then turned. And I realized pretty quickly that we weren't going the right direction. So we just enjoyed ourselves and then eventually made our way back. So what we ended up doing is, this is the church that's right across the street from us, one of the local churches, who every morning we saw the tower through the opening in the hacienda. And then when we got down the street a little ways, we ran into the store, and it was a Mayan communal store where they sold all kinds of Mayan materials. So here's some of the things that were intriguing to us in the doorway as we walked by. And then we went inside because Sheri was looking for a nice hat. So we wandered around inside a little bit, and ultimately we get to the hat area. And, you know, Sheri loves to negotiate. So she got her chance to do her negotiation. It's a sisal hat. They basically have like one size, and then they use the band around it to adjust it to people's heads. So she negotiated it, and eventually I got it for about, I think, $125, which was pretty good because we saw cheaper ones, but they're not anywhere near as valuable, as good as this. And there's a picture of Sheri with her hat when we got back to the hotel. Now the next day, which is a relaxing day, we're not going to go to Chichen Itza until the following day. So we got up. This is what it looks like. You walk out of the room and you see the sky. And by the way, the weather that we had for the 10 days in mid-February was National Geographic photographic weather. So we go downstairs to the area to have breakfast. So here's where we started last time when I took the video. And then here's a view of it with the people. They had, if there were 4 people in the room, there were 4, and so they had different groups. So they had plenty of number 2s. So there were 2 of us here, and we sat here for most part all the time. And then we ordered breakfast. Now they gave you a menu, and you could order any and all that was on it. So we ended up with bread. We ended up with, this is a mixed fruit dish with muesli on it, which is really, really excellent. We had great coffee, incredible orange juice, and then of course Sheri has an egg omelet with black beans and some other stuff. And I think I had scrambled eggs and bacon, and they had a mound of bacon that went with it. Now I know you're wondering what happens when it rains out here. Well, when it rains, this is a view. It only rained once while we were there, and that was on Sunday. They just move all the tables under the veranda and everything goes on as usual. But here's an example of what it's like when it's raining. Now our plan for the day was to go down to the cathedral and have ashes for Ash Wednesday, and then see all of the tourist things around the square. A couple of museums, a couple of buildings with artwork, and some history of the city. But before I end this show, I need a couple of things. One is they had a spa access, so you could get massages and things here. They obviously you could have washing done. They had pretty much anything that you could think of available to you. You just had to ask. And the service was spectacular. Now, when it came to price for food, of course, obviously breakfast was free. You would probably, we had, Sheri would always have wine. I usually had a beer. We always had water. And then we had all the regular food in the evening. And it would run between 800 and 1,000 pesos. Now, that's for both of us. So at 17 pesos to the dollar, you're looking at probably $55 a night for 2 people to have a good meal. And of course, the owner was there all the time. He came down and breakfast and spoke to pretty much everybody. And we spent a lot of time with him talking about politics and all sorts of different things. But he wanted us to come out to his home for lunch. But by the time we got ready to do that, we were gone every day for like 3 consecutive days. So anyway, that's our hotel in Merida. Sheri and I hope you enjoyed the tour. Please come by our YouTube channel at Bob Packett, and please subscribe and leave some comments. Thank you very much. I've been doing podcasting on history for over 15 years. I've got over 4,000 shows, and I've done CDs, which of course can be sent out as USBs. So if you would really like to get more on history for free, then come by my website, as you see here, historyaccordingtobob.com, and see what's there. So thank you very much again.